I remember how I was talking about you now.
Yeah.
I brought you up to my friend and I was like, Josh, we've been working with Josh for a long time on the podcast, and I showed them the clip of the microaggressions. The scene where I saw the ghost.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, this was Josh's idea. And they were like, oh, Josh, he sounds funny. I was like, he is. And that's what I was talking about you.
Oh, that's sweet.
It was sweet. We have come far, haven't we?
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like I always say this as soon as we sit down together.
I feel we've taught each other a lot.
Mhm. What have I taught you?
You've taught me a lot about race that I didn't know.
Mhm.
I didn't know a lot about, and just a lot about other social issues as well as that. I don't want it just be to like. My black friend taught me about like that.
No fair.
But like, I don't want it to just be like that. But like, also no. But like, I think in a way, yeah, that has been part of it. Like, it's just sort of, listening and being like, but also about like women's issues, about a lot of things. And obviously opening up a different side of Manchester. I'm in the uni in the north of the city, you're in the uni in the south of the city, so it's interesting to see.
Fallowfield Unite. No, I'm joking.
It's interesting to see, like, the differences between the two halves of Manchester.
That's true. We don't really talk about that much, do we?
Yeah, it's like weird because the south of the city is like, I'd say, it's definitely, at least compared to Salford, it's more diverse.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, it's a lot more lively.
Is Salford more segregated?
I wouldn't say Salford's segregated in that
well,
it's...
not like, not like one people here, one people there. But in the sense of like, in South Manchester, you just see everyone everywhere and they're all mixing, like, down the road. It's just like, everyone is just doing their own thing. But in Salford, is people more like by themselves or in like close communities with their...
Yeah,
group.
I'd say so. I'd say it's kind of like down to
like race or class or like.
I'd say it's down to like a few reasons. In that, I think Salford is. Well, first, Salford has a lot of historic problems in terms of, obviously violence, like gang wars and stuff like that. So, it's
fucking active for that shit.
It's like, so there's partly that, and there's also a lot of like, it was very much a lot of the sort of community feels like it was very much abolished back in the 60s, like the sort of slum clearance stuff that was kind of less about giving people a better quality of life and more about clearing them out.
Yeah, it was like gentrification or some shit. Because you see so many modern builds around Salford, but obviously that's picking those communities out. Like, where are they going?
I think it's like a lot of it, like if you go around the Salford shopping centre, actually I'd say a segregated community, sorry, I'm just trying to put the orientation back a little bit of it.
There you go. Do you want to move it?
Yeah, there we go. I think we've solved that.
Okay.
But yeah, I think segregated actually, that really describes it, because you've got Media City, the redeveloped area around the quay, so like the sort of the post-industrial area, they've sort of revitalised it to become like this new area for like media. So you've got like the BBC, you've got ITV, you've got all these production companies there, and you cross over from that and then you're literally into like, I'm not going to say they're not nice estates, because there's a lot of nice houses,
but they're not nice in comparison to what's next opposite the road.
It's clear that the economic opportunities that are literally just across the road from them
are far between.
And it's like it's kind of shown in like the connections, because there's almost like a giant road like in between not very good bus services connecting the actual Salford to Media City, but there's a tram right into the city centre if you get to Media City, so it's kind of like, and obviously I like to see investment in the area, but it's clear that investment hasn't necessarily reflected on more opportunities for people who are sort of born and bred Salford.
Yeah.
Like the university is great, like it's fantastic, it's got tons of facilities, and I'm sure that a number of people from Salford do go there, and a lot of people from Manchester go there, but it also feels like a lot of people from other parts of the country who are benefiting from it, and obviously they bring some money into the area, but like because there's not a huge amount of like bars or like restaurants or shops or stuff that's
interactive places
owned by the local community. I don't feel like much money stays in Salford.
Oh, okay.
Like I feel like it's sort of
it
almost
spread out.
transient in the fact that it's like once money enters Salford, it doesn't stay there for very long before it's like shipped off to like either a landlord in another part of the country or another country, or to like a developer, or it all kind of immediately leaves Salford.
Okay.
Like the money kind of comes in, stays
goes.
temporarily. Whereas if you take somewhere like South Manchester, a lot of students come here and then they'll use like their locally owned takeaways on Curry Mile and stuff.
But you can
that stays within the community a bit longer.
Even like networking, like I know so many people, like uni students that would network with the clubs that were in South Manchester. Now they're putting on their own nights. Now they're using these places as venues for like a poetry night or even a rave. Do you know what I mean? So it literally just shows you that, a bit of a difference really. But it's quite nice. I never really thought about that.
Yeah.
We need a read load moment here. Do you know what you've taught me?
What have you? I'm just going to switch the camera. So
okay.
I was looking at the monitor and I was like going, oh, the camera's not enough on. It's like cutting half of you off.
Oh. I'm back.
There we go. Nice.
It's quite funny watching a lag.
Yeah, it lags by a couple of seconds. It's not too bad, but it's partly my computer has to process it all.
Sorry, does that make a difference? No, it makes a difference to
as long as the audio and the video arrive at the same time, then it's generally alright.
Jokes.
Otherwise I have to go and move one of the tracks by a few frames.
Yeah, that might be a bit tedious, won't it?
Always tedious.
Yeah.
But
reload, glitch sound, beep beep. I feel like you taught me how to be creative with what I have, to be a bit more adaptive with it's weird, like I don't think I am a perfectionist, but I think I can have perfectionist tendencies in the sense of like when I like something my way, I want it to be my way. Like I like seeing the development of something, I like seeing the stages, but you've come in and you've shown me how to like sort of appreciate the flow of it, like appreciate sort of like how something that could be perceived as unawareness could actually be really like interesting,
so
or
it's
like accepting, you know,
almost like learning how to sort of, it's like if you've got like your baby and you've been looking after this baby and you're just like allowing someone else to hold it sometimes. Even though it's like really nerve-wracking because you've been working on this thing for so long.
Oh my god.
And then it's like, okay, I'm gonna let you, and then you have to kind of go like, that's the one thing, like working creatively it is sometimes hard when you have to know when to leave something in the hands of other people and not to sort of interfere with their creative process, like even if they don't necessarily make a decision that you agree with. It's like going, okay, like it's maybe not what I'd have done, but I think that it works. And it's like you kind of like work sorry just working together on stuff, because I've noticed I remember especially like when I work with Joe, like we both generally have quite strong ideas of what we want things to look like, and then we sort of debate over what we want it to look like, and then we eventually turn out with something that's quite good. So
but that, like, I see that as like a melting pot of ideas, isn't it? And then you swirl it around, and it's like A and B equals C. Do you know what I mean? It's completely new. It's a bit mixture of both, but also it's different to what you guys first proposed. And like, isn't that good?
Yeah, 100%. Like, we're working on like a little film for one of our final year projects. Just me, Joe, and Ferg, actually.
Oh yes, go good boys.
And then we were, and it was, I had to simplify the script a lot, to sort of get it to work in the time scale that we had. But yeah, it's like working on, letting people take on different roles. Like Joe filmed a lot of it. Like usually I'd sort of be behind the camera, but
oh, what? So you were acting?
Oh no, I wasn't acting. I was just pulling cardboard models
fair.
around with a big long bit of string.
But it shows how you guys all came together for a common goal, and look, you guys out here finessing things. Well done, pat on the back, or pat on circles. Did you ever see that in school?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to pat around in circles.
I just remember, I remember so much funny stuff from school.
Share us a funny story, Josh. I'm going to go close that door. Go and share it.
There was they used to come in at primary school to do singing. They brought the whole school in together, and there was this like pianist guy, and he used to like play the piano, and everyone would have to sing along to it. And everyone was so terrible at singing, but I'm pretty sure the head teacher had a crush on him. Like, they just kind of flirt with each other.
What year were you?
Like, this was like probably 4 to 6.
Oh my god.
It's pretty funny.
It's so weird then, because it's like, in that age, we're actually receptive to so fucking much. Yeah. But like, we can't speak on everything because we don't actually know. But it's still like unnerving. It's like, ew, I don't want to know about that. I'm a child.
Did you ever used to have like someone who'd come in and do, like, tell you stories about the Bible, but with like puppets and
I don't think stuff? I don't think I did that at school, but I did that at like Sunday school at church or something like that. Oh right,
yeah. I think this guy is like probably someone who'd do like a Sunday school. Like,
yeah, I think I've done stuff like that, but that's like, that was different.
They were learning a story about the Bible.
Yeah, no, I've definitely gone to something like that, but that was like when I was young, and that was on a Sunday. Like, I really went. Like, I've always been in like religious schools. I think besides when I went to high school at Windsor Girls, but like my first school was like St Edward's Royal. Do you know what I mean? Like, my middle school the same. The boarding school that I went to, we had a fucking chapel at our boarding school. We had to go to a Sunday service every Sunday lol. And if you didn't bring your hymn book, you'd get in trouble. And it was just like, it's absolutely joke.
Private school sounds like hell.
No, but it's like, it just shows. Don't get me wrong. I celebrate faith. I celebrate understanding, like reflectivity, all of that. And if you can find that in religion, so be it. But like organised religion and like the constraints of that in a schooling system and policing as a black woman, like in a white Christian, school, like it was a lot. It was a fucking lot.
It's less the like necessarily the religious side. It's like the micromanaging every aspect of your life.
Exactly. So
I couldn't deal with that.
So exactly. Micromanage. Yeah, well, it's just another way of sort of like I don't want to say restriction because that's not fair, but it's another way of like everybody needs to be on this box, this box, this box, this box, this box. It's like, okay, so we all follow the same religion, we all need to wear the same clothes, we all need to follow the same system, we all need to learn the same schooling, like it's like we're all in. I'm being very, very what's the word? Like, I don't want to say this and offend anyone because obviously I'm not like that. Like, I think that faith is beautiful, and I think that religion can help people like become the best selves, and I really really respect and inspired by especially young people who are religious, because they are able to have a commitment and a sort of perspective that is testing, you know, and like I fully respect it. However, when I was in that school, it was like it was another way of micromanagement. It was another way of policing, and that's something that I don't agree with. Like, I want to learn about my faith for me. Like, I don't want to feel like I'm in trouble because I step out of if I wear something wrong, you know. Like, I don't want to like feel restricted in that sense.
You feel almost like your thoughts and your beliefs are being policed.
Exactly, and that's the thing. It's like Jesus literally taught you to love thy neighbor. Like, you're not loving your neighbours. Like, you're out here preaching godly stuff, but you ain't godly. Like, you ain't godly. And like, I think seeing that at a very, very young age being reflected in a school setting, in an institutional setting, really, really disrupted my faith, because it's like I was brought up like Catholic. Like, I'd pray and stuff, and then like I'd stop and then I'd come into it, and then I'd stop and then I'd come into it, and then I was at boarding school and I'd pray till I get out of it, and I'm still getting all this racist fucking shit. So don't get me wrong, like, prayer is there, and I still even pray today, because I think it's an open reflection of how I can connect with my higher self. It's not for everyone, but then again, crystals aren't for everyone. Bloody meditation isn't for everyone, but that doesn't mean that you like that it shouldn't be disrespected. Like, just let them do their thing over there.
I think for me, I think I had a combination of, I feel like I'm surprised because where I lived was quite rural, but in a way it was, I feel like actually I probably received maybe a more secular education than I get the impression that some people
What did you say,
in
secular?
cities do.
What does that mean?
Yeah, like sort of divide, or secularism typically means like a division between church and state.
Okay.
But I guess I mean between like the church and
Schooling.
the school. I mean, my first school was a C of E.
Okay, what's that?
Which is Church of England.
Oh, sorry. I didn't hear that. Okay, cool. C of E, cool.
And then my other one was just a standard comprehensive. There wasn't any like involvement. We still had some of the people come in that I had at primary school, but it wasn't like sort of run by the church or anything. And I think it's like I generally don't know sort of what my feelings are on sort of faith schools and like having kids sent to. I mean, obviously, I think that all schools should be accommodating of religions. Yeah. So whether that's like allowing people to wear hijabs, whether they need to pray, or any needs, like I think the schools should. And it really worries me where the UK is going at the moment with like trying to ban head cover. Well, it's like we can't ban
that as well.
We can't ban. Well, it's like schools are starting to be. Schools are causing trouble with it and like stuff. So it's like, it's just. I mean, it's like. I'd have a whole rant about how I feel about the schools. It's like, so we can't ban minorities, but we can ban all their haircuts and all their religious. Like, it's like...
It's awful.
It's like, I've heard girls who just come in their natural hair. Yeah. Because they have like afros and stuff, and then they get told that it's distracting other students.
Yeah.
They can't...
I was listening to a podcast the other day. This school basically said they're banning people who have hair that block the view of others. So you're saying literally, if my hair doesn't fall flat, I'm blocking the view of you, which is racist. It's 100% racist. Anyway, the students of that school protested, and they ended up getting the rule revoked. But it's the fact that these individuals have to take it upon themselves to restructure a system that doesn't accept them because it's led by people that aren't for them, and it's recycled again throughout life, and it's upsetting. Have you ever read this book, Everything is Fucked, the book about hope?
No, I haven't.
You should read it. You'd love it. It's by Mark Marson. He made the first book called The Subtle Art of Not to Give a Fuck. I've mentioned it abundance of times on this podcast, but it made me really, really understand how like faith Well, anyway, to me, faith and my values and my belief system, it's like your belief system will always be your belief system until it's challenged. Your experiences will always still be your experiences until there's other experiences that, that differentiate from them. Like, we can't really go throughout life limiting ourselves with this internal sort of suffering that we put on ourselves, because there's so much suffering around. There is literally so much suffering around that we have to choose what we're suffering for. And now we're at an awakening. The collective, the community is awakening period, because they're like, shit, I don't want my life to be like this. You're telling me that people have been living like this for X this amount. Nah, that can't be me. And I think you see so many people in our age group being like, nah, fuck this. I'm starting my podcast. I'm doing my creative shit. I'm moving to a different country. I'm telling my racist mum to go suck her out. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, whatever. It's just, we're in a weird time.
Yeah, I think COVID is, I think, gonna leave its mark. Whether we
forever,
I think
forever,
it will. I don't know. It's not. Obviously, it's made everything worse now. But when we come out of it, we have to decide whether we're going to use this as a tool for learning or a tool to go back.
Exactly. Amen.
And at the moment, I'm very worried that we're using it as a tool to go in the wrong direction.
Yeah. Has to be more exploitative.
And it's like, I think I'm worried about the UK especially, that we're going to go back into good old Cameron austerity days and all of that.
But the thing is, if we do, I don't think it will last very long. I think if we did, I generally think it will be like a month or 3 months.
It'll be the breakup of the UK.
The 3 months of like destruction, about like absolute like terror, like whatever you think. And then it's like, right guys, we can't fucking do this anymore, and then everything will start again, because there's everything that's built, like the tower card, everything that's built on a shaky foundation will come down. And you've been seeing so many people lose faith in the world, not even lose faith in the world, lose faith in their government, lose faith in their family, lose faith in so many things around them during this period. People have lost people during this period.
The biggest tower card is right now that's come in the news. There's been all this stuff about there was this company called Greensill. It's a whole ridiculous, like, complex story of weird finances and all of this stuff. But essentially it comes down to the company fell down because they were... one guy in Australia had underwritten their insurance way more than he was authorised to do.
Okay.
And everyone had been said, how the hell did this company actually exist? Like, it shouldn't... No, why would anyone insure this?
Yeah.
Let alone why would anyone put money into this?
Yeah.
And lo and behold, it's come crashing down and exposed all of like the politicians who've, including Cameron himself, worked for them. And he was like trying to get Greensill's hand. Well, he got Greensill's hands into the NHS payroll and everything.
Oh my god.
And
so they're an insurance company that got money.
So they do like... They're almost like a bank in the way that they work. They do like supply chain financing.
Oh, so they're an independent...
they're an independent
bastards.
body. But they basically so if you need to pay someone, you get them to pay that person for you, and then you pay them back later.
Yeah.
So they were getting the government. They were doing that for the government, but the government never needed that service because they had the money printers. So it's like
the cheeky thieving.
But yeah,
people.
like Cameron was like hitting up Sunak and trying to get them all those like contracts. And stuff.
My god! See, but so that's another.
But then it came crashing down.
So did you hear about that key member in the police getting exposed for being a neo-Nazi?
I heard that guy. Yeah. He was.
That's another tower moment. Oh my god! So there's this other one on Leslie and Kelechi's podcast. There was this publisher. She She basically helped publicize this book. It's like essays of women of color. I can't remember specifically, but she helped publish this book. And then a phone call got leaked out of her calling this alt-right organization that she's a part of, and she's like, please, no, I'm sort of like, she's basically begging for their like respect back. She comes out, she says the most anti-Semitic things throughout the whole fucking phone call. She says that she had to go to the publishing company, the Women of Colour publishing place, because she needed the money, and they're all BLM, so they don't like fuck with her. And she just said all of this shit, and like, I'm telling you now, everyone is getting exposed. If you are built on a shaky foundation, you're getting exposed. So don't get me wrong. Yeah. Yes, what you said about, unfortunately, you're worried about the UK, but it could. I'm not doubting that, but there will be a point where even that snaps.
Yeah.
Even that breaks.
The shaky foundation will eventually fall.
Like 10 years ago, would. The fact that even, I'm bringing this back to the Oprah Winfrey and Prince Harry and Meghan Markle conversation, like that was a tower moment.
Yeah.
That was a tower moment in the centuries. Like, what's the baby's name?
Archie.
Okay, so Archie, if you think about it, Archie is a mixed race boy of royal descent, and of African American descent. Do you know how many ancestors are literally riding for him?
Yeah, and it was such a the Royals there was a royal screw up to cock up that opportunity.
Oh yeah, of course.
They had an opportunity. Just speaking on the terms of
views. But they like their tower.
Yeah.
They like their tower. They like their tower, so of course.
But it's like they had the opportunity to almost wash themselves of at least some of their past wrongdoings, but now they're just brought to light. No, but
they chose not to, and this is why I find it hilarious, because now, right, everybody's literally going to get got. It's not about a matter of like will, it's about when, and like I'm just hoping that I'm away or like safe, so I don't have to be around the people who are getting their neck stamped on.
I think it will be like you say with the towers fall. I mean, there was Me Too. Now there's U2, as in the YouTube, basically version of Me Too that's going on at the moment, because so many creators are being exposed, and it's one of those things. Like, I think eventually, like you say, the towers will come down. And
they always
it's like,
will.
What is it? Deliveroo recently put up their like initial public offering on the stock market, and it was after they've come under a lot of criticism for sort of how they treat their workers and their business model, because they've not managed to turn a profit through the whole pandemic, when literally delivery drivers are like the only people who can actually go out, and they still made a loss.
I've used Deliveroo more this whole year compared to any other year that I've ever, like throughout I've used it more this year than I've ever used at uni. Facts.
And then it was like, and then they couldn't even make money then, despite exploiting their workers, despite all of this. So the fact, I think now, they got offered on the stock market and it dropped by a third on like their first day.
Yeah.
Like, eventually it will.
Everything built on a shaky foundation will fall. Sorry, I just interrupted you.
It's just a matter of time, I guess.
It's literally a matter of time. And look at us, Josh. Me and you. Just
sometimes
here
it feels like
it.
the UK is a bit like the Tower of Pisa, though. Like, despite leaning over at almost a 45-degree angle, it still won't fall.
Josh, you're funny. That's hilarious.
The UK is definitely the Tower of Pisa. It's like, how is this thing still standing? The contradictions are too much.
You're hilarious. That is brilliant.
Stands.
That was comedy gold. That is a fucking highlight. Oh my gosh, you're on your first highlight.
I've earned my first highlight.
Oh my god, now it's quite funny, guys, because Josh is like, you guys seen our highlight weeks. Do you know what I mean? You guys have listened to the show by now, and so we've got our highlights, and Josh will always edit them. But you know what? Now you're in the clip. Now I'm
going to clip that.
Oh my God, no, amazing. Oh no, it's been great working with you. I guess I'm getting a bit sentimental.
Sentimental can be good.
Sentimental. Do you know what it is? I'm not like that much of a sentimental baby. So when I am, like, I'm proper like, and then like if it's not reciprocated, I'm like, oh, I feel like a child that's just been rejected.
I do like watching over like old episodes and being like, oh, I wonder how I made that. I wonder how like I still need to release my blog post talking about all the behind. It's probably going to be all boring technical stuff.
No, but honey, I'll be full in.
I still want to release that blog post just talking about how we made it, like during the pandemic, the lessons that we've learned and everything.
Do you have Medium?
I don't have a Medium. I have my own WordPress site.
Ooh,
it has a pretty good. I'll show.
Link it.
I'll show you the
in. No, shall I let the viewers know why I'm getting sentimental?
Yeah.
So I'm getting sentimental because we're coming to the last episode, or we're rounding up the season. Yeah, we're rounding up the first
domain name.
Oh, that's hot. That's nice. Handley Media. So we're going to edit this bit now. Good. That looks good.
I'm so
Handley
glad I managed
Media.
to bag that domain name.
Yeah. No, that's sick.
It's literally handley.media.
No, that's sick.
All you have to type. So yeah, got my little portfolio, video podcasts up there.
Oh my God, look at that. Amazing. Sick. Look at you, Josh. Look at you go. You whizzer. 10-10. Guys,
the
everyone
blog
check
is still empty.
Josh's,
I need to get the blog going.
Josh's site, because it's cool. It's handly.media, and that's a beautiful domain, so you want to check it out.
Just to see the domain.
Exactly. And like eventually the blog post, because they're coming. But I'm getting sentimental because we're rounding up the end of the volume, the end of season 1. And it's been nice because it's been the starter, it's been the baby, it's been the trial, and now there's just so much to like expand on, and I'm excited, but I'm also a bit nervous,
The baby teeth are starting to get wobbly, they're about to fall out, and the adult teeth are slowly coming through.
Yeah, exactly.
Which ones tend to go first? Is it like the front or the back? I feel like it's almost...
I can't remember. I feel like the back would take the longest.
Yeah, for sure.
But then, the back would take the longest because I feel like the front... Oh, maybe... No,
so season 2, you get the adult teeth. Season 3, you start to get the wisdom teeth come through.
Maybe.
And then season 4, you find out that your wisdom teeth are causing issues with crowding and you have to have them removed.
Yeah, it was built on a shaky foundation. So
wisdom tooth was built on a shaky... Not so wise...
Not so wise. No, but then do you know what? This is creative abstraction. We've learned what we liked. We've learned what we don't like. We've learned what we want. What we want. And now I'm in the period of how I'm going to encourage DM Talks, because I don't think like I've said this to you before, DM Talks is not just a podcast now, it's a brand, right? Yeah. And it's an opportunity to inspire and create opportunities to network. That's what I want to do. Like, I find it great how like I've learned a new thing from you or a guest every single week. I've learned new things myself. I've learned new things from Taro. Like, let's keep that pushing, let's keep that same energy with some more helpful things, so then our episodes can bring us some light, some love, but also some softness. That's what I want. That's what I want.
So I don't know why I had this thought. It's a bit strange, so we can cut it out. But when you said that DM Talks is not just a podcast, I was just imagining like a big blimp hovering over London with like DM Talks painted on the side of it.
Let's do it.
But then I thought we could just have like a hot air balloon with like the DM Talks logo just looking down at you.
That's it, you put it into
Sarah
the universe.
DM floats over Windsor just looking down at the Queen.
Damn straight.
With an angry face.
Damn straight. But Josh, it's going to happen now that you said that. I'm going to put it on my vision board and we just...
See, that's the thing. Talks hot air balloon.
Yeah, but I've got spirituality on my side. I just need to give it to the world, mind my business, work on myself, and then it all rise.
If you have a hot air balloon for us to paint.
Yeah.
We need to get Claudia over to do it, though.
There you go. We'll
Do you
go
reckon
call
she'd be
Claudia.
down to paint like 100 metres squared hot air balloon?
If we helped her, she'd let her stencil it, and then we'd just paint it. Yeah, that would be a bit more adaptive. Yeah. But we should probably get into the episode now, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
We should get into the episode. Listen to us, guys. We're going to be here next week for the episode. Bye.